What's up guys, Mustang Matt here, and today I just want to take a couple minutes to go over some things on the S550 Mustang that you may not know about. So let's dive right in. I'm going to go over some things that are specific to, or well, I should say rather not specific. They're for all 2015 and up S550 Mustangs, 2015 through 2021, now that the 21s are starting to roll out. And then later on I'm going to go over some things that are specific to the 2018 and up and the Gen 3 Coyote. So the first things that are specific to all S550 Mustangs. This is probably one of the biggest ones that people tend to not realize. And it comes in when you come take a seat inside. So you're sitting here, you have your steering wheel, and then down in this little corner over here, people tend to notice a couple things. There's a trunk button, and then there's this little door. If you push that, slide it out. I don't have anything in there right now, but it's a sunglasses holder. Since Ford didn't put it up here, like a lot of, well, typically any car has, they put it down here. Obviously to save room and stuff. This is already kind of big, so they kept it like this, and they put the little sunglass holder over here, but typically people tend to not realize that it's even there. Now, in addition to the trunk button right here, you also have another one over here, right down there. And people just tend not to realize that. So that's a couple things. These and those two things are specific to all of them. All S550 Mustangs are set up this way, and still people, I had this car for a little while before I realized that this thing was here. Now, typically when I have my cars, I will kind of explore. You know, I play with all the settings on the steering wheel, and especially with the digital dash and the performance pack and everything, there's a lot of stuff in here. So, I mean, there's track apps, there's the performance shift indicator, launch control, auto rev match since I have a 2018 and up, the gauges that you can set which gauges you want it to show. Obviously my color, which is not anything new. Cluster appearance, you can set it to change with drive mode, normal, sport, or track, and what that looks like. Right now I'm in the sport mode, and then this is the track mode dash. And then when you go cycle back to normal, it just goes back to a very normal looking dash with just kind of two circles, the data in the middle. Now the last thing for inside the car that you may or may not have known about, this isn't really a new thing specific to the S550, just the design of the button, but just in case some people don't know. Obviously, if you click the button up once, it turns your traction control off, but Ford has something called Advanced Track, and Advanced Track is more like traction and stability combined. It uses ABS and all that stuff. So if you hold the button, I can't remember, I believe you have to have your foot on the brake. You do have to be at a complete stop. If you hold the button for what seems like an eternity,
1 hour later,
you get Advanced Track off. Now, I messed up at first. I had traction control off already and I was trying to do it. You do have to have traction control completely on to be able to do this. So with it on, you click up, hold for like, I didn't even count, it's something like 7, 8, 10 seconds, somewhere around there. It turns Advanced Track completely off. Now, Ford is known I should say Advanced Track is known to still kick on if you're on a track, if you're sliding on a track. It's known, even if you turn it completely off with the switch, it's supposed to be off. Research and testing it, playing with it, you know, the cars have shown that it will still kick on, especially if you have aftermarket wheels and tires that get a lot more grip than stock because the car is just not used to it. There is a way to defeat this, and I gotta kind of get a weird camera angle here for a second because I don't have hood struts. My car's a 2020 and it doesn't come with hood struts yet. But the way to defeat this, and I'm not sure if this goes for EcoBoost because I'm not familiar with all the little ins and outs of EcoBoost, but for GTs, you come under the hood and right by your air intake, there's this little plug. I'm not going to do it right now, but if you pull this plug out, it disconnects everything. Now, I could be a little bit incorrect. So I have seen a fuse being pulled on the Gen 2 Coyotes, so the 2015, 2016, and 2017s. I'm not sure if they have the plug there. You can feel free to correct me on that down in the comments down below. But the 2018s and up do have the little plug there right by the air filter. So you just come over here and you can just look for it right there. It may be blocked by the stock airbox. I can't remember. It's been a little while since I had the stock airbox on here, but it's right there. So if you ever, and I would only ever suggest you do that for the track, especially road course, autocross, when you're not going to want that advanced track to kick on when you least expect it, because it can really screw you up and cause really bad things to happen. So there's that. Now the next thing I want to talk about is specific to the Gen 3 cars now, and this is more mechanical rather than anything else. So coming back inside real quick, with the manual Gen 3s, in 2018 Ford switched to the MT82 D4. Now the D4 has some different gear ratios, the most noticeable being that whereas on the 2011 through 2014 Coyotes, or I'm sorry, 2011 through 2017 Coyotes, they had the first version of the MT82. The MT82 D4 has a 4th gear 1-to-1 instead of a 5th gear 1-to-1 that the previous generation had. That's the biggest difference. There's some other little things inside. They have some different shift forks that are supposed to be stronger, but are they really? But the most noticeable thing is the gearing. Next, we come back under the hood for the specific to Gen 3 Coyote. My car's a 2020. If you have a 2018 or newer Coyote Mustang, this is going to apply. Now, there's 3 major things that Ford changed. Obviously, they bumped up the horsepower to 460 crank horsepower stock. And the way they did this is mostly through the direct port injection. If you look under here, and I don't know how well you can see it on the GoPro, I wish I would have taken the cover off, but right around here under the strut tower brace, there is a high pressure fuel pump. That's for the direct port injection. A lot of guys, if you go do a spark plug change on your 2018 and up Coyote Mustang, you may have realized that this one coil is different, and that's because the high pressure fuel pump is right there, and it kind of gets in the way of the coil being like all the others, whereas all the others, it's all one piece. That one is actually, actually has a very short, small spark plug wire rather than being a coil-on plug. So it's a little bit weird. It's kind of a pain if you have to go get one, because the dealerships don't normally carry that one weird one. They have to get it from a different dealer that has them in stock. But that's one of the biggest differences about the Gen 3 Coyote. Now, the other 2 differences that people seem to just not know about quite as much is that they actually bumped up both the displacement and the compression. Now, the compression is a 12-to-1 ratio, whereas all previous Coyote Mustangs, 2011 through 2017, they were all 11-to-1 compression ratio. The Gen 3, however, has a 12-to-1 compression ratio, the same as the GT350. And I believe the 2020 GT500, pretty new car. I don't know about all the technical specifications, so I could be wrong. I'm sure I'll hear about it if I am, but the Gen 3 has the same compression ratio as all the GT350s. The other thing, and this one seems even less commonly known, is that Ford bumped the displacement. All previous Coyotes are a 302 cubic inch motor. That's just what it's always been. Ford is known for the 302. The old Fox bodies, the 5.0s, they were a 302. The Coyote, the Gen 1 and 2 was a 302. This one's a 307. So a lot of people, this is like a true 5.0. You'll hear a lot talked about where the 302 is not really a true 5.0. You'll hear it said that it's more of a 4.9, because if you do the math, 302 cubic inches can't talk today. If you do the math, 302 cubic inches comes out more to being like 4.94, 4.96. However, 307 comes out actually above 5 liters. So it's a true 5 liter. I don't know why they did that, so I couldn't go into depth, but that's the way it is. So these are several things that you may not have known about your S550 Mustang, especially if you have a 2018 and up, if you're pretty new to Mustangs, if you just bought one, if you just upgraded from an S197 to an S550 and you're not familiar with the platform. There's some things you may have known. Hope this video helps somebody out. If it does, leave a thumbs up and a comment in the comment section down below, and let me know how you like the video. If there's anything I missed that you want me to cover, let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.